you kind of were apologetic to a degree, right? That you didn't necessarily deliver what you wanted. So in your head, do you feel like this was a disappointing performance or a subpar performance from you?
It would be disrespectful to Thiago and his great team to say that it was a subpar performance. I met a fighter who came game. You know, he's a black belt in Muay Thai. He's been doing it for a long time. And I fought him where he is comfortable. And as a result, I have sore feet and sore legs. But I'm very grateful that I came out on top.
He came in a wheelchair as well. I'm just curious, as the fight was progressing, how aware were you of his physical condition? And was it just his power that kept you from really, you know, opening up the arsenal and really seeking that finish?
Yeah, you know, he was extremely powerful. You know, his kicks were powerful, his punches were powerful. And I wanted to play a smart game. It probably would have been a lot smarter to get him to the ground and test him there. But I felt like I was winning at what he was absolute best at, you know. I feel like his team had him ultimately prepared. His cardio was great. His punches and kicks were great. And I felt like that was his best, you know, that was his best. And I found a way to win on the feet at what he's absolute best at. And so in a rematch, if that were to happen, obviously I need to make some adjustments and make smarter choices. Look for maybe attack him where he's a little weaker. But I am proud because his kickboxing and his stand-up is what he's known for. I faced it head-on, 25 minutes, and I found a way to come out on top. So,
did you know he was hurt?
Yeah. I felt like in the first round he kicked me, and I checked the kick, and I felt like maybe he hurt his foot, but I haven't seen any injury reports. What is his injury?
I think his knee, he said.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't know his knee was hurt at all. I figured he maybe hurt his foot. I remember in the first round he threw a right leg kick, and I checked outside, and I thought it was his foot that was hurt, but it's good to know it was his knee.
So you get to the decision, you line up, they start reading a split result, they read a score for him. What's going through your mind at that point?
I was like, please, not like this, you know. I was confident that I won the fight. My coaches wouldn't lie to me. They said, John, we feel like you won every round. So I was just extremely grateful. Honestly, to have a fight like that is extremely humbling. It drives me to study more, you know, work harder, and take the game even more seriously. That was a good warning for me tonight.
And last thing for me, John, what is your physical condition? We haven't seen an injury report on you. You just said sore feet, but what's the status and what does it mean for your return, this busy stretch that you're on? Give us the idea of what's next.
Right now my feet are hurt. Both shins are swollen, but nothing's injured. Things just hurt, and that's what you get when you stand with a Muay Thai black belt. You're gonna do a lot of shin and feet colliding, and it's a small price to pay for this great victory.
John, I know before coming out here, we had talked, and you were talking about how powerful he was. Did he exceed your expectations?
Yeah, he did. Honestly, I would have to say he's the most powerful guy I've ever fought. You know, I blocked almost all of his face punches. I think maybe 2 of them actually landed on me. And boy, he knocked my mouthpiece out. Even when I was blocking, you know, it was making my defense rock side to side. Very powerful. You know, I think Thiago represented his team, his country so well. I wish nothing but the best for Thiago. I think when he gets back to Brazil, people need to give him a parade or do something really special for him. He should be very, very proud of himself. He handled it. He handled defeat like a man. You know, he came up, gave me a big old hug, and it's just like, man, sorry for some of the negative things I said about you before the fight. And that was something I wasn't expecting. And he was like, man, when you ever come down to Rio, I'm taking you out. I was like, I will definitely party with you, Thiago. He was cool, man. My type of guy.
So what's going through your mind when you were in this fight and he started to exceed expectations? Or I mean, I'm sure you've been in situations before, but what's going through your mind when that happens?
You know, it's the hard that makes the sport great, and I decided, you know, in the midst of a heated battle to to just continue to fly, you know, and to earn every minute of victory by staying focused and staying sharp and playing the game. It was great, man. It was a real chess match. It was like a chess match with someone that has twice the power. Where I had the reach advantage, I think he had the clear power advantage, and we made each other great opponents. And people were booing, but man, if you know anything about kickboxing, I think we put on a pretty decent level.
And have you seen Holly, or did you talk to her about what did you say to her? You know, because I know you guys have a good relationship.
Yeah, she came up to me and she gave me a hug, and I just told her that, you know, Holly, I said little girls should have Barbie dolls of you. They should have posters of you on their wall because you're so courageous. You're so courageous. I mean, most people don't want to fight the Ronda Rouseys of the world. Most people are happy being a gatekeeper or like a C-level fighter. You know, Holly, every time she steps up to the challenge against the meanest girl, the girl who's the killer, you know, and she does it with grace and with a smile on her face. And, you know, even the way it worked out tonight, I could see her wanting a rematch. She's just that type of person. She has big balls. She has big balls. And I'm so proud of her. I am so proud of her.
Thanks, Jon.
You're welcome, Tate.
Hey, Jon, right in front here. You fought the fight you wanted to fight. And you know how judges are notoriously inconsistent. Had the scores gone the other way, would you be angry at yourself for the way you fought?
No, I wouldn't have been angry at myself. I would have felt like I could have done more. I would have been motivated and inspired to get back in there and do more in a rematch. But it didn't go that way. You know, my coaches, Greg Jackson, Mike Winkeljohn, all the guys, they've been around for a long time, especially Wink in the kickboxing department. And he was pretty sure that I won the fight. His energy, he wasn't worried. And that's why when the judge was reading the final verdict, you know, I put my hands up way before they gave the announcement because I trusted my coach's opinion. They said, Jon, you clearly won the fight. I haven't seen it yet, so I got to get back out there and watch it and, you know, criticize myself and see how I can get better.
I wonder, when he did hurt his left leg in that sequence you referenced before, you seemed to notice it and you kind of went after him, and he came after you with a combination. Did any of those land on you and bother you at all?
I think the best punch he landed was earlier, maybe the first round, where he actually knocked my mouthpiece out. Outside of that, I will have to watch the fight very closely, but I felt like I blocked the majority of his punches. He showed a little bit of a weakness in my defense with some of the leg kicks, but as far as my instincts, when someone's throwing punches at me, I feel like, you know, they're not the most technical, you know, bobbing and weaving or what, but I do make people miss.
I'm curious about your lack of combinations. I mean, was it because he was so powerful? Like, you didn't throw a ton of combinations, it didn't seem like.
Kevin.
What do you think you did?
I felt like, no, I didn't throw a lot of combinations. You're right. I just felt like I played it smart. It was very humbling for me. I felt like I played it smart. At the end of the day, I think it means a lot to my team that they have a champion. And you're not going to always look incredibly impressive, you know, especially against a warrior, mighty warrior like Thiago. So just the win, I'm super satisfied with, really. Yeah, I'm really excited about that win.
And last thing for me, you know, I know you got to get healthy before you start thinking about what's next, but obviously there's a big fight next month. Would you fight the winner if they showed you the money?
Absolutely. Me and Daniel, we're both speaking the same thing. It's going to be a super fight, and the only reason why it hasn't happened is because I think UFC scheduling. When the UFC is ready for the fight, they know they have two guys who are willing and able, and they'll approach us, and they'll just say, hey, you know, this is what you guys are going to get paid, and I'm sure me and Daniel will be happy.
And if Stipe were to win, would you be willing to fight him as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be willing to fight Stipe as well. I would rather fight Daniel because I feel like I have his recipe. But I fight Stipe too. But really, man, to be honest with you, Kevin, my passion is at the light heavyweight division. There's so many guys. There's so many guys that are coming up right now, and so much work to be done still. You know, a lot of people always say, John, you've cleared a division. And I don't look at it that way. I mean,
Johnny Walker, are you impressed with him?
I'm impressed by all the fighters. I'm impressed by all the fighters. There's so many guys, man. I think with Johnny, you know, if I got to see him face a guy who was ranked top 5 in the world and he was able to do what he's been doing, I'd be a lot more impressed. But, you know, I feel like if you gave me the level of competition he was fighting, you'd see some pretty impressive things, you know. So it's just hard to see how great this guy really is when he's facing the level of competition he's facing.
Congrats, thank you.
Thank you, Kevin Aioli.
You're welcome, Jon Jones.
My man.
Hey,
We've come a long way, Kevin. we've had our ups and downs.
More downs than ups.
More downs for sure. You keep on creeping your way back into my life somehow. I don't know how you're doing it.
Hey, John.
Hey,
John?
Hey.
You talk a lot about Thiago's power.
Yes.
Did you get surprised about his power or anything in his game?
No, I expected it. And I think that's why the fight was so boring. You know, I didn't want to get caught with a big shot, and I played it smart. You know, people would have loved it if I would have been reaching out with jabs and crosses and getting into those exchanges. But not only does he hit hard, but he hits fast. And so I'll go back to the drawing board, and I'll get better for sure. You know, especially I'm excited for our rematch when it happens. I want to see Thiago work his way back up the ladder, and I think he beats most light heavyweights. So I know he'll be back. I don't know if it'll be in a year and a half, but when he does come back, you'll see a different strategy out of me for sure.
What did you talk after the fight in the octagon?
Oh, Thiago was just like, hey man, when you come to Rio, let me take you out. I was like, yeah, let's do it. I could see him being a good time. So I'm excited to. I love Brazil, man. I really do. People try to create this dialogue of oh, you've beaten so many Brazilians, you know, and I tell people all the time, I've beat way more Americans than I've beat Brazilians. I really respect that country a lot. I mean, a lot of the greatest fighters have come from there, and the people are just so loving and so welcoming to me. I think they respect me a lot, and yeah. Much love for Brazil.
Do you want to fight in Brazil?
I would love to fight in Brazil. I really would, but not against a Brazilian. I think they say something like, "Who?" I'm like, "Hey, yeah, I can't say it. That means you will die, and I don't want to die." So yeah, I'll fight anyone else but a Brazilian in Brazil. Make it happen, guys.
We just had Amanda here, and she considers herself as the best female fighter of all time. What do you think about that? And do you consider yourself as the greatest fighter of all time?
I do, in fact, think Amanda is the GOAT. But at the same time, Holly Holm was so close to being the GOAT. I mean, if Holly would have won this fight tonight, I think she would have been unquestionably the greatest female fighter of all time. I mean, let's not forget she is a multiple-time world champion in boxing, and she's the only boxer to ever come to the UFC and win a world title. And if she would have been able to derail Amanda Nunes, no one could argue this girl being the greatest fighter of all time. That's why I think she should keep her head high, because, I mean, this is a game of inches, and she was inches away from being the best ever. So, still the same person. Things just didn't go her way tonight. She needs to get back to the drawing board and do her thing. And as far as myself, I do look at myself as being one of the most dominant fighters in MMA history. Especially considering the competition I've faced. But as far as greatness, you know, there's a lot of things about me that's not great. And so greatness will always be an opinion. And I'm done trying to win over people's opinions. I don't really care what people think about me. But being dominant, that's something. I could be a real douchebag and be the most dominant. And that's something I'm striving for.
But what is your opinion?
Excuse me? I could be a real douchebag. The internet's going to be like, he already is a douchebag. I'm like, Okay.
But what is your opinion? Who you are the greatest fighter of your time, in your opinion?
I think I'm one of the most dominant, but I don't want to sit up here and toot my own horn. There's been a lot of guys that do a lot of great things.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, John.
Hello.
Over here, dude.
Hey, what up, dude?
Full reptile.
All right.
Good to see you. Congratulations tonight.
Thank you, mate.
Mate. So, obviously you were throwing a few super special moves out there. Were you inspired tonight by Jorge Masvidal's flying knee when you threw yours?
No, I've been working on flying knees. I've been working on that a lot. Maybe somewhere subconsciously, him throwing one is why I went for one, but that's something we practice a lot. I thought the moment would be there, which it was. I'm not sure if it actually landed on him or not. I got to go back and watch it. But, you know, with a little bit more belief, I probably would have caught him with it. But, yeah.
Thanks a lot, man.
That's it.
That's it.
Easy day.
John, one question right
Yes,
here.
sir.
I spoke with you in LA at the media day, and I spoke with your coach Greg Jackson at media day here, and you both used the phrase, the unexpected becomes expected when preparing for Thiago Santos. After spending 25 minutes with him, did that statement become true in your mind?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we expected some capoeira techniques, which is very unexpected for most people. But for us, because we've seen him so many times throughout training camp, I mean, he didn't come close to landing any type of spin attack. They looked, I felt like we saw it coming from a mile away. And I think that's one of his greatest gifts, is that unpredictability. So, yeah. He's not as unpredictable as people think. You just got to study a little bit more. And, yeah.
Hi, John. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, sir.
So first I wanted to ask you, Amanda Nunes at the LA Media Day was very open about how you two sharing a card has always been something she's looked forward to, and talked about how good of a relationship you two have. And obviously with your friendship with Holly Holm, did this provide any awkward moments for you, being so close to both?
Well, I do have great respect for Amanda Nunes. I am a fan of greatness. You know, I'm not a big fan of teams, but I love great individuals. You know, I love Tom Brady, LeBron James. You know, I love people. You know, Jordan. I love people. Anderson Silva. You know, a lot of people like to see great people fall. I don't. I'm really a big fan of greatness. But there was no way, shape, or form was I rooting for Amanda tonight. You know, Holly is a very dear friend of mine. I mean, she sold me my last house. You know what I mean? My daughters look up to her. She's friends with my fiance. It was weird, yeah, because Amanda, she told me, she said, you remember when we were in New York and you had your belt in the air and I reached over and I touched your belt, and I was just like, yeah, I remember. She was just like, I felt like you put like a lot of good energy on me and into me, and I want to steal that energy again. And she like slapped my belt, and I was like, hey, get back, you're fighting my sister, you know. Yeah, it was just weird, man. It was just weird. I really wanted Holly to do it. I do respect Amanda a lot, and I'm honored to fight in the same era as her. But tonight it wasn't bittersweet. It was just bitter for me to watch my sister go down.
All right, and last one from me. Just out of morbid curiosity, what was going through your mind when you did that jumping side kick? Looked like you were aiming for Thiago Santos' knee.
Oh man. Well, you know, my coach teaches us to be malicious. This is combat, and at the end of the day, I mean, Thiago was trying to break my jaw tonight. He was trying to give me brain damage tonight. He was trying to, you know, he was trying to take some years off my brain. And so this is a very malicious game. And if a guy can give you a stutter for the rest of your life or memory loss, I think an even trade-off is to give him a limp for the rest of his life. That's just the game we play.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, John, you've won in so many creative ways throughout your career. And you come from a football family, and I wondered if the influence of them, maybe you could say that in football they say defense wins championships. Do you think you would sum up tonight in that way?
Yeah. You know, I think what worked against me is I've been working with a coach, Frank, and he sacrificed his body over the course of this camp. Shout out to you, Frank Lester. And he comes and he spars with me every practice, and I feel like he's helped me with my defense tremendously. And my gift back to him is not to counter him with strikes or punch him in the face, because he's such a good partner. Just blocking his shots makes me happy enough. And tonight, I found myself out there playing this game that I've been doing all camp, which is just making sure I'm not getting hit, and instead of countering back right away or going to the offense. So it was a lesson learned for me. I need to not only be sure to be just out of reach of punches and strikes, but I need to be retaliating. I got to get back to punching my teammates in the face. So yeah, defense did win a championship tonight, and some good offense too, though.
I appreciate it. Thank you, and congratulations again.
Man, you got a great voice for radio.
I'll have to get into it someday.
Yeah, listen to you.
I appreciate it.
Kind of like a Howard Stern sound.
You think?
I don't know.
Well,
I can't put my finger on it.
All right. Well, you can come on the show, and then you can we'll do a little expose on that.
Fair enough.
We'll do a little Howard Cosell. Hello, everyone. Howard Cosell.
There you go.
Jon Bones Jones.
Hey, you know you got the gift. Use that thing. Definitely not a face for TV. Sorry.
Sitcom. Hey, Jon. Jon Santos, Eagle Broadcasting. Congratulations on the win. You mentioned that you knew of Thiago's skill, being a black belt in Muay Thai. Was it your original game plan to stick to standing up, or were you tempted to take him down at any point in the game?
Honestly, man, I think my pride was a little intact. I felt like if I were to be the one to shoot, that would mean he was winning in the kickboxing department. I think I could be honest enough to say that. I think my pride was intact. It was a very challenging match on the feet. And I didn't want to give him the satisfaction of having to take him down. And so I stood there, and I stayed ultra focused for 25 minutes straight to avoid those powerful shots, and land my own, and I won at where he's strong. I'm not too worried about a rematch, because I know there's a whole different can of worms I could have opened, and they were never opened. I don't think I even attempted to shoot on them, and I'm curious what will happen when I do shoot on them the next time.
Is that going to be something like your MO for future fights, maybe, that whatever strength your opponent has, is that what you're going to study and focus on doing?
Yeah, I feel like
a challenge for you.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I've been doing that for a long time, just trying to fight the guys that wear their best. I'm here for it to be hard. I want good challenges. And every time I go through crazy battles, I learn a lot about myself. I learn where I'm weak. I learn where I need to improve. Tonight, I'm going to watch this fight probably 8 times, and I want to figure out how other light heavyweights are looking at me right now. And I'm going to be my own biggest critic, and I'm going to try to be better.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Man, I know some people brought tickets to my after party. I think I may go do that. Maybe we can do 2 more questions. Anybody have any good ones? That's it.
Jon, quickly, you over here. You talked about sticking to your game plan. You heard the crowd booing. Was there any point you were tempted to deviate from that game plan? Say, okay, I'm going to get more aggressive because I hear what the fans are saying.
No. It doesn't feel good to be booed, but not many people know what it feels like to be in there. Not many people knows what it feels like to be in there, and I can't allow them to make decisions for me. It'd be disrespectful to my coaches, be disrespectful to my gift, to myself. No way. I feel like that's a very rookie move to start switching up your strategy because someone's booing you.